What's up guys, today's video is on the top 10 best PC cases 2022. Through extensive research and testing I've put together a list of options that'll meet the needs of different types of buyers. So whether it's price, performance or its particular use, we've got you covered. For more information on the products, I've included links in the description box down below which are updated for the best prices. Like the video, comment and don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get started. 10th place. Fractal Design Define 7. Not everyone wants to be surrounded by blinding RGB lights or have a jet engine sitting next to their desk, which is where the Fractal Design Define 7 comes in. It's subtly designed with a lot of steel, but some people might find it a little dated and dull. As previously stated, this will be subjective. If you like the design, you'll be greeted by a lengthy list of specifications. Although it is a mid-tower chassis, it can accommodate up to 6 2.5 or 3.5-inch drives, 9 120mm fans or 140mm blowers, and radiators. I'm talking about a front width of up to 360mm, a top width of up to 360mm, a rear width of up to 120mm, and a bottom width of up to 280mm. Larger cards can be installed alongside beefy CPU air coolers because the GPU and CPU clearance is sufficient. It's a fairly roomy mid-tower case, so you can fit a lot of stuff in there. The sound dampening materials used on the Define are 6 set it apart from the competition. Even with so many fans installed, there will be very little noise. This fractal design case is ideal if you want a simple PC build that's easy to put together and barely makes a sound once it's up and running, despite its understated design. A fan controller is included as a bonus, allowing you to experiment with temperatures to get everything running smoothly. 9th place. Corsair Obsidian Series 4000X RGB. The 4000X RGB from Corsair is a stylish gaming tower with 2 glass panels and 3 RGB spinners. It's not cheap, at $135 NOK, but its design is well thought out, and as you build with it, it's clear where Corsair's gaming and PC building credentials come from. Indeed, the 4000X RGB, as well as the similar 4000D Airflow, is a very simple and straightforward chassis to build a system in, and everything just makes sense. The dark tinted glass ensures that you only see RGB lighting inside the case, allowing you to be a little sloppy with cable management because you won't see it anyway. Add in Corsair's industry-leading RGB ecosystem, and you've got a very attractive case that's easy to use and always looks good, regardless of what you put inside. 8th place. Phanteks Evolve Shift 2. At first glance, the Evolve Shift 2 stands out for its towering, small footprint design and lovely anodized aluminum panels. It easily earns a spot on our best PC cases list at $100 for the mesh version and $110 for the variant with TG and an addressable RGB fan. The Evolve Shift 2 is ideal as an SFF PC for use in the living room, moving around the house wherever you need it, or taking to LAN parties, thanks to its small footprint and beautiful finish in both tempered glass and mesh variants. Plugging devices in is also a breeze thanks to the top I/O's easy accessibility. Building in it was challenging, and it came with the usual mini ITX frustrations, but I was able to complete it in under 3 hours, and the end result was well worth the effort. 7th place. Lian Li Q58. Lian Li hasn't been quiet about its upcoming case launches, but the Q58 blew us away when it finally arrived. This is a 14.3-liter mini ITX case with great looks, excellent cooling potential, and a flexible internal design that costs just $130 in its base variant. The basic frame is made of steel, with a half glass, half perforated steel on each side. The case's front face and top plate are made of a fancier, more attractive aluminum, giving it an overall premium feel. The GPU can draw fresh air from the side, but you can still see its lovely RGB through the glass, and a 280mm radiator can be crammed into the case's roof. However, the case can be reconfigured to remove some AIO and storage options in favor of installing an ATX power supply, which is a great way to save money when paired with the plain PSI 3.0 riser cable. For an extra $30, you can get a version of this case with a PSI 4.0 riser cable, which is compatible with RTX 3000, RX 6000, and future graphics cards. There aren't many things about the Q58 that you don't like. 6th place. Phanteks Eclipse P360A. The P360A from Phanteks has a street price of just $66, which isn't bad when you consider its feature set. Sure, it won't blow you away with high-end materials or extreme quiet, but it has all the essentials for simple, budget-conscious ATX gaming systems while still adding a splash of personality. 2 120mm addressable RGB fans are hidden behind the mesh front panel, providing the chassis with class-leading thermal performance at perfectly acceptable noise levels. This case is more than capable of handling today's high TDP GPUs, and the top-mounted 240mm radiator can be used with an AIO to keep your CPU cool as well. Fantex also includes an addressable RGB strip along the side of the chassis, as well as an excellent software-free RGB controller, making for a very complete and simple to use just throw parts at it package. 5th place. Fractal Design Meshify 2. With the Meshify 2, Fractal offers a thoughtful, versatile design aimed at ease of use, resulting in a very pleasant and enjoyable building experience. The Meshify 2 will find a way to accommodate your build, whether it's a system where you just want to deliver tons of airflow and room for expansion, a workstation with tons of hard drives, a server, or high-end custom liquid cooling. It earns a rare 5-star rating for this, as well as thermal and acoustic performance that is in line with what we expect from a mesh front. When it comes to case design, the Meshify 2 doesn't try to reinvent the wheel, instead chiseling away at it to improve the experience. There's only one question you should ask yourself before buying it: will you actually use the space for storage or cooling components, or can you buy a smaller case and save some space and money? 4th place. Cooler Master HAF 700 Evo. The HAF 700 Evo from Cooler Master has a lot of unique features, including an edge-lit RGB glass grille front with a circular LCD display, an infinity mirror to hide unsightly parts of the interior while showcasing your pretty components, and 5 front USB ports. There's also enough room for up to 12 drives and 8 server-class motherboards, as well as the most powerful graphics cards and coolers. Cooler Master, on the other hand, did not overlook performance with the HAF 700 Evo. Thanks to 2 massive 200mm intake fans and a trio of smaller 120mm spinners, it ranks near the top of our testing charts. Furthermore, with 18 fan mounts, airflow can be improved even further. The HAF 700 Evo's only drawbacks are its $500 plus price tag, the fact that it weighs over 50 pounds empty, and the fact that the dust filter is hidden behind the front panel, making it difficult to remove. Cooler Master's flagship HAF is difficult to beat if you want great looks, great performance, and plenty of room for high-end parts. 3rd place. NZXT-H7 Flow. The NZXT-H7 Flow manages to deliver excellent temperature and noise level numbers in our testing, beating or competing well against pricier chassis with more fans and glass panels, despite having only 2 of the company's F120Q airflow case fans behind a skeletal frame with a perforated front panel. It's also a pleasure to install, with good cable management and a $130 MSRP that, in this era of seemingly ever-increasing prices, is quite reasonable. The lack of RGB to light up your system is the most notable feature missing here, which will come as a welcome relief to many builders. This, combined with the boxy design and perforated front, means this case isn't the most attractive on our list, but with some tasteful lighting provided by your components, extra fans, or a light strip, it can look great. If you don't like the look of the fully vented front and aren't concerned with keeping your temperatures as low as they can go, the non-Flow H7 model has a solid front but retains all of the other features we liked about the H7 Flow. 2nd place. Lee & Lee O11 Air Mini. In recent years, Lee & Lee's PC O11 Dynamic has been a go-to PC case for pretty builds, but its days may be numbered. The design of the O11D Mini was inspired, but it had a few flaws. The O11 Air Mini, on the other hand, is a fantastic alternative. With 3 PWM fans, bits of pretty aluminum, a glass panel, handsome looks, plenty of I/O, a brilliant internal design, and full ATX compatibility, you get a lot for your money with this case. The chassis has an unusual side-by-side chambered design, but it's a breeze to build in and performs admirably by modern standards. It's a case that easily earns its place on this list with so many features, such attractive styling, and such good value for money. 1st place. Fractal Design Meshify 2 Compact. I requested that Fractal Design send us the gray option for this review because I was curious to see how this color option would turn out. The black color had already been seen on the full-size Meshify 2, and white wasn't yet available. Circling the case, it's clear that this is a Fractal Design chassis, if not for the Fractal text on the front mesh's door handle. You can tell by the folds in the mesh and the Fractal Design exclusive grille pattern. The sheet metal isn't particularly thick, and the case isn't particularly heavy. If you're looking for a tank-style case, the Lee & Lee Landcool 2 mesh might be a better fit. However, the thin sheet metal is only noticeable when handling the case. The Meshify 2 Compact appears to be a high-quality piece of equipment once installed, and the design efforts stand out beautifully. Fractal Design, on the other hand, goes to great lengths to make the case look good, almost to the point of being obnoxious. The tolerances between the removable top panel and the ports and buttons are extremely tight at the top I/O. This looks great, and it's not an issue for the ports, but it's a little tricky on the power button. The power button on our sample was stuck. The button would get stuck in the down position if you pressed it near the top, and yes, it did shut down our PC when we weren't paying attention. Aside from that, the top I/O consists of discrete headphone and mic jacks, a USB Type-C port, and 2 USB 3.0 ports, all of which are very useful. To remove the side panels, simply pull them away from the back tab and remove them from the case. It's that simple. After that, we'll turn our attention to the case's internals. Aside from that, the top I/O consists of discrete headphone and mic jacks, a USB Type-C port, and 2 USB 3.0 ports, all of which are very useful. To remove the side panels, simply pull them away from the back tab and remove them from the case. It's that simple. After that, we'll turn our attention to the case's internals. The Meshify 2 Compact's interior layout is fairly standard, with a main motherboard compartment that can accommodate GPUs up to 13.4 inches, 341 mm, long with the front fans installed, 14.2 inches, or 360 mm without, CPU coolers up to 6.7 inches, 169 mm, two 3.5-inch drives in the PSU compartment, and two 2.5-inch drives behind the motherboard tray. The cable management system is also something I appreciate. Rubber grommets are installed on almost all access points to the main compartment, which helps to keep things tidy on the inside by concealing clutter behind the motherboard tray. Every possible intake location, including the top exhaust, has filtration. By swinging the door open, pulling it out of its hinge, and then removing the filter, the front filter can be easily removed. The top filter is accessed by removing the top panel from the back. The bottom filter, which is removable from the front of the case, is another feature we like. If your PC's back is stuck against a wall, you know how inconvenient it is to have to move the entire chassis to get to the PSU's filter. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I hope to see you all in the next video. See you later guys.